When I was just a kiddo down in Arkansas, there was a place I could go to get away from it all, and I'd sing along with all the tunes. Yeah, my folks said what is evil, but we didn't have the cable, so we pointed that antenna way on up to the moon. And I was riding on the reading rainbow, chilling with Miss Frizzle and her lizard on the magic school bus, counting 1, 2, 3, doing my ABCs with all my little buddies down on Sesame Street. Don't tell us so far me way. Don't you know them shows were a hoot and a half, learning about life and having a laugh. I ain't afraid to admit it, don't embarrass me. A purple dinosaur is a friend indeed. Being a kid was hard, I'll confess, but it was better with PBS. Mr. Rogers taught me how to tie my shoes. He said, be patient with yourself and don't you get the blues. Child, take all the time that you need, but you don't eat the fruit the day that you plant the seed.
Damn straight.
Cancel the news, they can't all go broke, but Mr. Rogers was good for the folks. And I was huffing and puffing with Thomas the Train. Little doggy wishbone was cracking the case. Old man Pappy taught me how to draw on a big comfy couch with a big red dog. Cancel the news, they're dead to me. Let the kids have a little TV.
Aww. Well, anyways, he's your son. Oh my god. Well, who doesn't love him? All right. So, what do we have? We have one person watching and it's you, Disco. Not that you're not important. But I was told, oh, what is this? Heads up. We've detected your video. We detected video in your stream belonging to someone else. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. What in the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What? Are these motherfuckers real? I have never seen that before. I mean, granted, I use Streamlabs usually and not this format, so I don't know. But what I wanted to fucking do is I wanted to fucking go over Shanny being like a fucking dumb bitch and stuff. Because she's a dumb bitch. And that's funny. But Zelda's also a dumb bitch, as you can tell. She has stopped being a dumb bitch. But someone will probably... I figured people aren't going to show up for a whole lot of lives because I don't know the fuck I'm here. We were up to 24 subscribers and we were back down to 21. So, And you only really notice movements like that when you have tiny channels like this. So, but anyway, nobody else is here, but that's okay because everybody will watch it on the fucking replay. This has nothing to do with the news or anything. This is just a dumb bitch thing that I wanted to check into. All right, so Shanny says, why I haven't been online lately. Okay.
Is that... So... I've been offline lately. The reason why is I've been having really bad creator's block. I've been kind of depressed.
Wait, she said she had creator's block? I had to get the fucking closed captioning on that. Creator's block? What exactly does she create? Doesn't she just play like video games and fight with her husband? Isn't that pretty much like the extent of the channel these days? Or is there something else that they do? Like what is it that she's creating? Is she curating content to like talk about it? I don't know what creator's block she's experiencing. And if she is experiencing some sort of new creator's block, I don't exactly know what happened to the old one. Hello, Icy. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. My God. There's 2 of you now. Is there 2 people watching? Look at that. 2 people watching and 2 likes. This is wonderful. What a great day. So this bitch is talking about being depressed. All right. Well, that's not that exciting, but also, what do you mean by creator's block? Yeah, well.
I've been frustrated largely with
I've been frustrated largely amount with.
senselessly cruel people.
Uh-huh.
And I just don't know where to go from here.
Well.
I also don't have a lot to say, really, you know?
Okay. Then don't. Yeah, I was thinking bigly too.
I've been isolating myself a lot. I've also been dealing.
Wait, you've been isolating yourself a lot. You don't leave your house. You are always isolating. Do you mean that you're not talking to people on the internet? Because that's actually a good idea. You shouldn't have internet friends. You don't have any internet friends. Nobody genuinely cares about you or likes you. And you every time you think that you have found someone that does, they break your heart, right? Or whatever the fuck. Streaming every fucking day. Well, I think he's been streaming. I don't know about her. I don't know. I haven't looked in on any other content lately. This is the first thing I'm like actually watching from them.
With a lot of neuropathy and swelling of my hips, flares. I just haven't been feeling 100%. And also, since I'm so like frustrated at people, I don't want to take it out on people online. So I tend to withdraw myself.
Wait a minute. Okay. She's talking about I don't want to be frustrated with people and take it out on people. So the people that are she's frustrated with are people from the internet. So she's not going to come back to the internet because she doesn't want to yell at the internet. You know, that's all right. I do too. I realize I get all fucking mean and crabby at the fucking chat, and then I'm like, yeah, I gotta back off for a little bit here. So I get that, but this isn't anything new for you. Like, I'm withdrawing myself. As soon as somebody says they'll get you a pizza, you won't have a new best friend.
When I'm feeling like I'm in an ill mood until like I'm ready to like say something, because it's unproductive to speak when you're angry.
Okay.
And I don't.
But like all I ever hear from her is like angry stuff. You guys are just men, and you're judging, and you guys are thinking that you can just be judging, and you want me and Jason to just starve to death.
I don't want to be angry. I don't want to hold grudges. I don't want to have any bitterness in me.
Okay, these are fine. That's good.
I just simply want to exist and live and love, and
then you gotta stop being a dick to people.
My sleep cycle has been horrible too lately. Oh my god, it's been shit.
Okay, hell the fuck no. Alright, look at this bitch. Look at this fucking bitch. Look at this bitch. Look at this fucking like.
Oh my god, it's been shit. And it's just
Jesus God. Alright, we gotta speed this bitch up.
so many things.
So many things.
On why I haven't been online.
So many things. It sounds like you're mad at people on the internet and you don't feel good. That's kind of a regular existence for people like you and I. Shanny, like, damn, I'm mad at people on the internet. Well, guess that sucks. Ow, my body hurts. Well, guess that sucks. What about like other hobbies and stuff? I don't know.
And there's also that.
Their thing is, well, Rev is like a reverend, and she is like a godly woman, and they play video games and scam people. Auntie Jessie's calling us scammers. No, just yeah, because like you have never taken full responsibility or any responsibility for the cancer thing. So people are never gonna fucking be about you. Two things is a lot of things when you're Shanny. That is true. Fighting with each other on in live and chat plays referee. God damn. See, you can't, you cannot ever get to a point in your relationship where the chat is your referee. You cannot allow this. This episode of King of the Hill where Bobby joins the hip young church. Oh my god, praise him!
The
Yes.
freaking depression thing. You know, I don't feel like being online when I'm feeling like shit.
Then where do you go? Where do you exist when you're not on the internet? Asleep? I'm guessing it is asleep.
When, you know, I'm in a lot of pain. You know, I'm in a lot of pain right now. I have been in pain for days.
Yeah.
And I know when my pain is heightened, I have to do everything I can in my power to like keep myself not stressed out. Because it's,
I don't know. Like, yeah, as a person that also experiences pain and stuff, I don't know that it's about keeping me not stressed out so much as it's just like, I'm going to sit here and chill and let that shit heal and not make it worse. I don't know. The fat shot thing. Okay, so the deal with the fat shot I see is so I suggested about a year ago when she first got the fat shot that because of the fact that they were suddenly coming up with all of this nice money, they were pretty flush for a minute there, eating well. I had said I think that she might be selling it because it was worth a lot of fucking money on the streets. I think it still is. I'm actually not sure. And so I had suggested that. A couple months ago, Nick Bravo brought that to everybody's attention. Not that I had said it, but he thought he was being clever or whatever. Although it could also be just like that multiple people are drawing the same fucking conclusion because it's not hard to piece together. She gets this Ozempic prescription and then all of a sudden she's got like money and she's not losing weight. So, I guess it really came to a head recently. Someone accused her of selling it, specifically selling it to somebody named D. And I don't know who D is or how they're related or anything, but that's why Shanny's really depressed right now because people were, I don't know, I guess D finally turned on her. I don't know if she really was selling it, but the weird thing was that Shanny said, I gave you the last of what I have, but did not exactly explain what the last of what I have is. It's just fucking weird, man. Yeah, no, fat shot is completely, no, it's completely fine to call it the fat shot. I'm on the fat shot. Okay? The fat shot is life. The fat shot is made from Gila monster blood. I'm a lizard person now. That's great. I love being a lizard person. I feel much better, you know? And I've got like poisonous bites now and shit. There would be a noticeable difference, and that she has gone through some periods of like a little bit like, oh yeah, maybe she is taking it, but yeah, the Gila monster is the one that had the specific hormones that they studied and isolated to like figure out how to make this fat shot work. So basically, Gila monsters have a like mechanism where if they are realizing that they are in a famine situation, that they have this hormone that will turn on to be like, you're not hungry anymore, okay? And then the lizard stops looking for food because he's not hungry, and the body is now gonna eat like energy stores and shit, which is, a whole thing. When she was Asian sized, it was I mean Asian sizes. God damn. But yeah, it was originally Gila monsters that they were like trying to figure this out, and they figured out how to make it work in humans, because I think we have the same hormone, or this is I don't know. All I know is that I'm a lizard person now, and I'm fucking like super excited about it. I've lost 50 pounds. I gained back like 7-ish after the surgery, and I'm down a couple more. I haven't really been paying much attention to it lately. I've had other shit to deal with, but you know, my A1C is in the pre-diabetes stage, so I'm feeling like a motherfucking champion. So my doctor's proud of me, so I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? I love that fat shot.
Really hard on me because of the fibromyalgia and the arthritis. When I'm stressed, the pain goes up. I start flaring. It's like really weird what stress can do to your body. Unfortunately for me, stress becomes a physical thing, and it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's just a very hurtful, painful process to go through. So
Yeah.
that's basically why I haven't been online. I just want to thank the real ones for like sticking
Thank the real
with me,
ones.
you know, and understanding that I'm going through shit. But, you know, I don't want to be online and on camera when I feel my absolute worst. And I think a lot of people can understand that.
Uh
Jason, on the other hand, he's been great. He's been so loving and sweet and kind and
Loving,
understanding what I'm going
sweet, and
through.
kind and understanding of what I'm
Um,
going
to
through.
rub me when my
Running
neuropathy is
when
really
my
bad,
neuropathy
which it
is
is
really
today.
bad, which is this
Um,
today.
it's
Um,
just a lot.
it's just a lot.
So
Okay, I don't give a fuck. All right. This is not that fucking exciting. Now, if she had said all of this stuff and then gone into like, all right, now I'm gonna go and do something else, and let's play video games or something. It's okay if you got to complain about your ailments on the internet. We all do it, but I don't know what you expect here, Shannon. Anyways, we got Adam Schiff talking to us about Stephen Colbert being canceled. Let's watch. Oh shit, you guys can't see it yet cuz when I changed when I changed to a different tab, it didn't continue to show me share whatever the fuck it is. There. Yeah, the window. Give me that window. There we go. Not the tab. Give me that fucking window. That's right, bitch. There we go. Yeah. Anyways. Is it working now, though? Am I also muted? I'm not muted, right? Just a bit. Yeah, I'm learning how to use the YouTube streamer thingy. I don't fucking like this, but you know. We'll be back on the other channel in a couple of days, and also this will eventually we'll get 50 subscribers over here. We've been actually getting some like decent views and shit, so I am actually sort of growing the channel organically. Check this shit out. Look, real quick. Let me show you. All right. Look at these fucking. I'll show you some views. Look at this. This one got 114 views because I was talking about the MAGA bots. Look at that. We're getting a little bit noticed in the algo. I mean, most of them there's nothing there, but you know, shit. We're working our way back up, man. 21 subscribers. Look at that. That's lit. All right. Anyways. Oh, fuck. Oh, hi, Polly. Really? Still no sound? Really? What is your fucking problem? All right, I gotta figure this bullshit out. No, don't fucking tell me about this. Okay, all right, stop sharing. All right, let's try this again. All right, why was Colbert? Yeah, I'll share the audio. All right, this fucker. All right, is this fucking working? All right, can you guys fucking hear this now?
The late night show with Stephen Colbert just got canceled. Here is Stephen Colbert making the announcement last Thursday.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know something that I found out just last night. Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And yeah, I share your feelings.
As Colbert went on to say, it's not just
it is Google. They're anti-me.
The whole show is going away in May of next year. Here's Stephen Colbert.
It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away. And I do want to say,
I was among the first to find out about the cancellation of the show because, in fact, I was Stephen's guest on that very day.
Senator Adam Schiff was my guest. We harmonized on 7 Bridges Road. What a voice, I cried.
Now, we taped the segment where he announced that the show was being canceled after we taped my segment. So I didn't know it at the time, but nevertheless, I made this comment during our interview. This is what he's after. He wants to make the law firms afraid. He wants to make universities afraid. He wants to make immigrants afraid. He wants to make citizens afraid. He wants to make news organizations, CBS and Paramount, afraid. He wants to make ABC afraid. And he is succeeding. He is succeeding. So what is behind the cancellation of the most popular show on late night? Stephen Colbert would routinely get 2.5 million viewers for each show. Mm-hmm. That is the #1 ranked show in that slot. Why would CBS cancel that show? Now, CBS issued a statement claiming that the cancellation of this show was for purely financial reasons and not having anything to do with other matters. Now, what are those other matters that contributed to this decision or may have contributed to this decision? Well, for context, CBS is owned by Paramount, and Paramount is merging with Skydance in a transaction that has to be approved by the Trump administration. And while this merger has been pending, CBS decided to settle a frivolous lawsuit with Donald Trump, a lawsuit that Donald Trump brought for millions of dollars, where he sued CBS because he didn't like the way CBS had edited an interview last year with Kamala Harris. Now, any First Amendment lawyer, and frankly, most non-First Amendment lawyers can tell you that lawsuit was frivolous. It was completely baseless and frivolous. And in fact, you don't have to take it from the scholars. CBS itself said that the litigation was absolutely baseless. Now, why was it baseless? Because CBS has a right to edit their interviews of someone the way they choose, and some disgruntled other candidate can't complain about an editorial decision made with respect to someone else's interview. So there was no basis for this litigation. And if that's the case, then why did CBS settle? And in that settlement, why did CBS agree to pay Donald Trump $16 million? Well, the answer can be found in CBS and its parent Paramount wanting that merger to go through with Skydance. That merger is worth about $8 billion. So 16 million against 8 billion is not very much. But settling a frivolous lawsuit where you're paying off the president, well, what does that really look like? What is that really? Stephen Colbert had the answer on Monday of last week.
Now, I believe this kind of complicated financial settlement with a sitting government official has a technical name in legal circles.
By the way, what did you guys think of Stephen Colbert's fucking mustache? He tells this fantastic story about how he was on vacation in Turkey and that the barber was like, "We keep the mustache," and he's like, "See, here's the thing, without the fucking mustache, I'm just Stephen Colbert, but with the mustache, I'm Mr. Stephen." And it's like, yeah, when the guy says we make it look real good, you kind of have to.
It's big fat bribe. Because
that's right. Stephen called this a big fat bribe. And sadly, I think that's exactly what this was. But of course, that must have prompted a reaction not only from the president and the administration, but also concern, alarm with Skydance and Paramount. It was the very next day that the CEO of Skydance had a meeting with the head of the FCC, Brendan Carr. The FCC, which is in a position to hold up this merger. So the chronology is this. On Monday, Colbert calls this payoff a big fat bribe. That is the $16 million CBS is paying Donald Trump to make that frivolous case go away. On Tuesday, Skydance CEO meets with the head of FCC that could hold up the deal. And on Wednesday, Colbert is told that the show is being canceled. And on Thursday, he announces the cancellation. So is there any merit to CBS claim that this is purely financial? The circumstantial evidence would say there isn't a whole lot of merit there. Certainly not with the timing of the decision. Now, it is true that late night comedy ain't what it used to be in terms of viewership, as lots of people have moved on to streaming services, particularly young people that watch late night.
Okay, but even the streaming services are getting, that host these fucking late night shows, the YouTube channels certainly get lots of fucking views, so.
There are less viewers than there used to be, but there's still a lot of viewers. And the top-rated show was the one that CBS just canceled. It's also instructive to look at May of this year when Paramount CEO was asked about the late night show with Stephen Colbert. And he was already talking about how they would have contract talks in the following year, that is next year, and that CBS felt it was in a good negotiating position with Stephen Colbert. There was no suggestion then that they were entertaining a cancellation of the show.
Wow.
So what happened between May and this announcement last Thursday that they're canceling the show? Well, the
Trump
merger,
sundowned a little
the desperation to get that merger done. So this certainly, at least in terms of the timing of canceling the show, seems to be driven by a desire of these two companies to merge and all the money that is on the line. But what is being sacrificed here is the freedom of the press. You can imagine what Donald Trump's reaction was to the cancellation of Colbert. Here it is. You can also look to what other people have had to say.
I like how they didn't even show it that long. They were just like, all right, here's what he fucking said. Let's go.
About why CBS settled that litigation. And here, for example, is an interview that Jon Stewart did with Steve Kroft, who used to be a reporter on 60 Minutes. Listen to this question and answer.
Was this settlement just a payment so that this merger can go through and not be challenged by Trump's FCC?
Yes.
Now, the action, the capitulation by CBS, Paramount, Skydance to this real extortion by Donald Trump. The capitulation isn't confined to CBS. ABC settled its own litigation with Donald Trump, another frivolous lawsuit brought for a completely different reason, but settled it for millions in payments to Donald Trump as well. So Donald Trump is using the power of the presidency to extort these media companies into paying him off in order for them to continue to enjoy the good graces of the president. And not just that, of course, we have seen the president exclude the Associated Press from covering certain events because the Associated Press wouldn't use the president's ridiculous vernacular, the Gulf of America, instead of the Gulf of Mexico. And most recently, we have this. Trump bringing another frivolous lawsuit, this time against Fox and the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch. And over what? Over their disclosure of communications between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. So he's suing Fox. And the irony here is that Fox will now be subject to the same extortionary pressure that CBS was, that ABC was. And considering that Fox and Rupert Murdoch probably did more than anyone else to make Donald Trump president, there is a certain irony in that network now being subject to the same vexatious litigation as ABC and CBS, the same extortion. Now, what can be done about all this? Well,
Nothing.
First of all, media companies need to stand up for the First Amendment and the rights of a free press, which they have claimed to champion year after year after year.
They're liars.
Only to see that capitulation time and time again to pressure by this most corrupt of presidents.
Because they are also in the Epstein files. You see, when they were saying, Donald Trump's deep undercover, he's at the Epstein Island to get pictures of all the other pedophiles. You see, that's what you guys aren't realizing. The head of CBS, pedophile. All of them. Every single one of them. I don't even know who it is. But yeah, pedophile. He was at that fucking island. And Trump has this information. And this is why he's like, guys, we can't release the Epstein files that don't exist because, like, other people are in it. Like, that is actually genuinely one of his positions on why we have not. Because, it'll ruin people's lives. There's a lot of phony stuff in there. Yeah. Yeah, he was there to get all the pictures of the pedophiles. You know? The pedophiles. Pedophiles.
We saw, for example, the LA Times decided to withhold an endorsement in the presidential election because its wealthy owner was concerned about blowback. At least it certainly appeared that way to me. We saw the Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, decide to completely revamp its editorial policy in a way that would be more suitable to the liking of Donald Trump.
Including turning off the ability to comment on their articles. Only Jeff can comment on them now, by the way.
The track record of these media companies is terrible under this administration.
Yeah.
But we all need to speak out too.
Yeah.
We need to speak out in defense of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
We have to speak out critically of those who capitulate.
Yeah.
We have to prize truly independent journalism that isn't subject to this corporate capitulation or the capitulation of these wealthy owners of American press institutions.
Yeah.
I have my own way of describing what I think both media companies that are the subject of frivolous litigation by the president, as well as the American people, should have to this kind of extortion. Here's what I had to say on Stephen Colbert's show.
So I just want to direct this, if this is the right camera, or maybe that's the right camera.
That's the right camera right there.
Donald, piss off.
As notarized now, how's that
Wait,
yes.
He notarized
Donald,
it.
Before you piss off, would you release the Epstein files? Come on.
Hey, everybody. So I started to make these nightly videos because I kept hearing from people with everything going on. It'd be nice to have some explanation at the end of the day that helps make sense of it all. So that's what I've tried to do, but I would love your feedback. And if you'd like to continue the conversation, please join along. But let me know, are there subjects you want me to cover? Are there movie clips you want me to include? As you can tell, I'm a movie fan, but I hope we'll get to continue the conversation.
So this is one of my senators, and this is the guy. I like this guy. I would rather have this guy be either governor or president than Gavin Newsom. I like this guy. This motherfucker is talking about, we're gonna put out some fucking videos, because you know what? I've been calling him and harassing him and being like, yeah, I gotta fucking call him and say some shit. Let's leave him a comment right now. What should we say? Say, I love you. No, not that one. Hell yes, we need videos like this. This is so helpful. I have left many messages for you in various forms, not in a creepy way, but then again, you probably already know that. I appreciate that you are willing to speak to the folks and that you are engaging the tubes. You know, fuck sickos. Oh, well, maybe we should censor this. Fuck sickos. There. He is very presidential. I like him. I think he's good. All right. So I have found this. We gotta share the screen again. All right. So I found this, and I don't know if it's real. Okay. Federal workers against Doge. I haven't super explored it. It has 180 subscribers. Joined July 3rd, 2025. Okay. They have all of these videos here that, like, I only listened to a couple of seconds of this one and went, found this the other day. I don't know if these are real or not. I don't know if these are real or these are AI or what's going on. But let's look into this for a second, because it's kind of interesting.
It's just a daily attack of unpredictability.
Website has crashed.
Every day at my office is like an 8-hour funeral.
I really think that people are going to die.
If hurricane tracking isn't being done, you're setting this nation up for just disaster, really.
Doge is meeting with our information technology team to share data across government agencies. That has not been done before, and that is really terrifying.
You create this exodus of knowledge. There's not going to be these scientists to protect the people from deadly contaminants.
We've lost about 2,200 FAA employees. Your next airplane flight's going to be less safe because of this. That's not political. I'm just talking about the safety of the American public. Doge is one of the worst creators of waste, fraud, and abuse in American history.
So there's like a link tree, Feds speak out, and they do have a website. I'm getting the warning that this .com was only registered 60 days ago. So, you know, do what you will with that. Trump administration is endangering us all. So this is the Federal Workers Against Doge. Yeah, is okay, but the thing is I'm not sure if it's real or if it's some sort of, like I said, AI. So this is a long play. It's 16 interviews. We got a FAA employee, VHA employee, and IOSH employee, NOAA, IRS, CDC. Let's check this one out.
On January 20th, Trump's first day of being president, he signed an executive order called Ending Radical and Wasteful Government DEI Programs and Preferencing. And when it came out that DEI was being attacked, we still thought that we were safe because we oversaw all of the disability work at the CDC, and disability has always been bipartisan. My office at the CDC works on programs, research, anything that we can do to ensure that the population of Americans who have disabilities are not experiencing overdependency and non-productivity. So by taking preventative measures, we're able to save the US economy billions of dollars in unnecessary expenses. Our data is covering the broadest population possible in order to capture the bigger picture of disability as a demographic. And what we're trying to do now is recognize that disability does not equate to poor health. One of the most frustrating things is that the words diversity, equity, inclusion, they are all necessary words for us to use. Even the word bias, which has become, one of those dirty words, you have to use the word bias in research because you have to acknowledge bias and account for it through statistical analysis. You can't have disability without diversity because there are so many different types of disabilities, and you get into intersectionality, which is also a word that we're not supposed to use anymore. But all that means is that somebody with a disability is also Black, is also an immigrant. We're trying to make sure that care is equitable because equity is efficient. In January or February,
I don't listen to like AI shit. What do you guys think? Does this sound AI? I mean, the things that are being said here are not really striking me as like a personal this was my experience. She's just saying what this is like generated from like everything we're already saying. A lot of people who worked in the disability, the CDC, are disabled and depend on telework agreements. That entire office was dealing with reasonable. You have protections to fight back, people on your sides. One of the first signs I saw that we were in trouble said we just did updates to your computer, and I went up to her and I said, "There's nothing wrong." And I said, "Should I report this?" She said, "I'm not sure yet because we're not sure who to trust anymore." Next day, many more people were added to the DEI list, included many work. Now, okay, the DEI thing is indeed, I have spoken to a FEMA worker who lost their job. She came through the stream one time, in fact. She's someone I know from real life. She was working for FEMA out in Hawaii. She was, part of the recovery from the volcano from was that last year? Anyways, yeah, so she was out there doing her fucking work, and she's a Hawaiian, so it was like perfect for her to be out there and serving her fucking land and shit, and she got fucking canned because they're canceling all FEMA, and also the fact that, she is definitely a DEI hire because she's a brown person. So, here's the thing. Is it suspicious? I'm a little sus about how this channel appears.
So the Trump administration and DOJ have most definitely targeted the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA. NOAA is most known for a national weather service that does weather, hurricane forecasting and tracking. My part of the agency is focused on the management of marine and coastal resources, giving communities in coastal areas information about how to keep their people safe, keep their property safe, research to inform communities about where to build, where to put their critical services like hospitals or schools. The Bureau, in particular the Coastal and Marine Management, helps make informed decisions about how to best manage the resources that everybody can benefit from, so that there'll be resources there for our children in the future.
Now, this one sounds a little more like an actual person talking, but they've used AI to like clean up the silences.
Being a federal employee right now is being in the middle of chaos. I think a lot of us are driven by an urge to provide benefits to the American people, but all federal employees right now are under attack. And the work we do and the services we provide for the public are also under attack. At the Department of Transportation, I work on a variety of transportation programs and projects. I've had programs start, stop, start, and go on hold indefinitely because they didn't align 100% with the ideological views of this administration. Some of the impact.
Wait a minute. She's had things start, stop, and because they didn't align with this administration. Were they fucking with the DOT the first time, or is this just like in the last few months that we've been dealing with this stop start shit? I don't know. I'm not real sure what exactly we're dealing with here. Their website, join the fight, text no Doge to 51905. About. Okay, we are growing a movement of federal workers. Okay, so how do you like contact with them? All right, so contact. All right, so let's see. For the public, what am I gonna do here? All right, let's go. Speak up. Use every channel. Recognize threats to your community. Connect with federal workers. You can send a message of support through our website. Okay. Well, you know, I'm not real sure about all this yet. I'm a little worried about it, you know what I mean? But what do you guys think? Is anyone else seeing this as just like a little weirdly sus? Like does it seem a little weird? I don't know. Like the thing is yeah, it doesn't have many subscribers, and that can be a credibility thing. Yeah, I don't know what to think. I'm gonna stick with like looking at this and you know, I'll stick with it for a while, but I don't know that it's real. I really don't know that it's real, and I don't want to like super be putting out a bunch of potential you know, fake shit, right? Because we got to make sure we have credibility and everything. But I mean, there's not much we can fucking do about it. Here we go. Here is I believe this is from The Late Show Tonight. So look, we've got to fucking hear this. Let me throw this over here real quick.
If they were run by Chris Wray and they were run by Comey, and because it was actually even before that administration, right? They've been running these files. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me.
So they're now saying that, yes, they did find things and he was there and it was in it, but it's definitely fake. What a motherfucker. You're sus about everything. Listen, I'm sus about all of it too. I don't know what else we're supposed to be thinking at this point. Like, everything sucks. Look at this. Postcards to print out and throw into ICE agent cards. Cars, buildings, and hands, etc. Read carefully. This is your only way out. You think you're following the law, but without a signed warrant naming every specific person, it's an unlawful arrest. Even with one, handing people into a system built to suppress constitutionally protected rights doesn't just make you complicit, it makes you responsible. You didn't sign up to disappear kids and workers into camps, but that's what you're doing. Think this is bullshit? Turn this over and see how Pam Bondi, Todd Lyons, and Tom Honan and Stephen Miller are risking your life to build their authoritarian vision. Please let it be just like a butt. I just want it to be a butt. Is it a butt? No, it's like all this other. Okay, this is good though. Like this is important, but it should have been a butt, a pooping butt. Student to Charlie Kirk. I have one more question. My dad wanted me to ask you, would you still be a white supremacist if you were in a more diverse work field? I don't really. Oh my god. All right. Ripping ass on an airplane. Yeah, sometimes we do fuck up.
Talking points are he doesn't even know that word, or he can't draw. And not, why would anyone think he would write a creepy letter to a pedophile? I guess that's because Trump bragged about busting into the dressing rooms at Miss Universe contests and was accused of busting into the dressing room at Miss Teen USA pageants and told a couple of 14-year-olds he'd be dating them in 2 years. Yeah. And then there's this.
Do you think you could now be banging 24-year-olds? Oh, absolutely.
These Howard Stern interviews from 2006. Those Howard Stern interviews are fucking rancid, dude. Like, yeah, Trump is a disgusting piece of shit, and in 2006 you could say a lot worse things. Also, Howard Stern, but like, these were bad. You guys have got to fucking listen if you haven't heard them. I'm probably not gonna be able to play them for you guys for to go over all of them. I would love to, but of course, we're not going to be able to get away with playing too much Howard Stern on the air. You know what I mean?
Would you do it? I have no problem.
Yeah. Do you have an age limit, or would you?
No, I have no age. I mean, I have an age. I don't want to be
the
like
upper bracket,
Foley with 12-year-olds.
I'm not a creep. I just want to make it clear. That is what he's admitting to when he.
Howard Stern was a blackmail op on everyone. I like that.
He knows he's being recorded.
Yeah. You just gotta act like, yeah, it's totally fucking cool. We'll totally bang a bunch of 12-year-olds. That's great. Isn't that great, Mr. Trump? Yeah, hell yeah, that's great. Let's do it. And then it's like,
Literally, you're sitting in a studio with a giant sign that says on air. And you're like, 12 would be just too much. Come on. Maybe it's a lot easier to argue over doodles and vocabulary than have to confront whether a letter like this lines up with Donald Trump's character. They don't want people asking if the person who'd send a doodle to Jeffrey Epstein was also the type of person that would have said this in a deposition.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
Historically, that's true with stars. That's historically speaking, guys.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the pussy?
Well, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely.
Over the last million years. Bro.
True, not always, but largely true.
Not always. Not throughout the whole million years. Because I think, humans are only 100,000 years old or some shit, but all right.
Unfortunately or fortunately.
He just says these things.
Guy's such an enigma. Again, I just want to point out here. Under oath, fortunately or unfortunately, under oath, he doesn't take a position on whether the coerced pussy grabbing is fortunate or unfortunate. None of this looks good. And as the temperature rises on the...
Well. Keep voting for the goalpost movers and then get mad when the goalposts keep moving. Yes. All right, there's my man Adam Schiff. Where do people hang out? What could it mean when I always get hit on by lesbians when I'm out, but not so much by straight men? Hey, Disco, you're a fucking lesbian. Help me out here. Like, why is it mostly lesbians, but not so much straight men? I'm just wondering, like, what could it mean about my appearance and personality? I'm straight, by the way. Trying to learn without being judged. Apparently, you dress like a stereotypical lesbian. Or the coffee shop that's your favorite might be a lesbian meetup. Educate yourself about your community. The only guys there might be gay. Do you drive a Subaru? Or ride a Harley? Or wear your hair short? Or have sex with women? That's a surefire way to know. All these lesbians keep eating out my pussy. They can't all tell I'm straight. Jeep without doors? Or wear a plaid lumber jacket? Do you wear a ring on your thumb or dress somewhat alternatively? Shave some of your hair? There's lots of possible reasons, but take it as a compliment. There's probably a few guys out there who love the same things anyways. Yes, as a guy who likes tomboy types, the line between straight tomboy and lesbian is not always clear. That's interesting. I didn't know that any of those lesbian signals were, as it were. I'm a guy. And I like all of those things. I'm sorry to tell you this, but that means you're a lesbian. Well, we're certainly attracted to the same gender. Real tomboys are attractive to the straight guys I know. It's the pseudo-urban lumberjack girls who would give signs of non-interest. Wait, are all these lesbian things? Can you explain the thumb ring? I love doing all of this style. I'm bi, but I've never gone to the other side since I'm married, and I never will, but I'm pretty culture clueless, I guess. Disco says, you'd be surprised how many women who have slept with multiple women and say they're straight. Yeah, you're only gay for like until you have an orgasm, and then the gay is gone. You know, it's called post-nut clarity. And you're like, oh, that's right, I'm not gay. Until next time. You could just be really hot. Maybe the dudes are intimidated and the ladies are shooting their shot. Nobody's wearing socks. All right, well, I thought the socks is what made it gay, though. Or is that only for dudes? I forget how they make each other not gay. Is it saying Slayer? Because I thought that the balls were allowed to touch now, that they changed that whole thing. Oh, if the socks are on, it's gay. Okay. I think I've gotten really confused about where the socks are supposed to be involved in the sex. Oh, not gay. It is gay. See, this is the problem, guys. Something about you is pinging their gaydar. Find a friend to help you figure out what it is and how to change it if you want to. Hey, what is it about me that makes all the women just want to fuck me? Well, that's just the start of a porno, honey. Then you're going to have these little conversations like, hey, yeah, it's your hair. You have such soft hair. And then it becomes a porno. And then everybody's, sometimes it's just the vibe and nothing you can change. One of my straightest friends, like a solid 1 on the Kinsey scale, gave off this total twink vibe when he was a young and pretty leggy blonde and had to fight off dudes whenever he went out. He was actually a bit sad about being straight. He said he could have gotten so much action. Dude. Right? There's a documentary made by Channel 4 in the UK about Trump, which is now on YouTube. I think you might like it. We'll share it later on the Discord. Yeah, throw it on the Discord. I'll check it out later and shit. You give off a large gaydar cross section. My God. All right. Well, anyways, I'll lead you out with a song the way that we do, and then I'll catch you cool cobras later. I think I get my channel back on Friday, But until then, please continue to get people to come watch our shit over here. Also, when I do get my other channel back, I'm going to continue to upload the videos that I've been doing throughout the day recently, where I'm just reading an article to you. I'm going to keep doing those because it might be interesting to see if this channel can actually grow. And if the reason that my other channel isn't growing is because the audience that I already have is just programmed for something else and I changed, and so now they're confused and shit. All right, let's check this shit out.
There used to be a list that they said was just fake. Some liberal prank for the mainstream to take. But baby, now I bring it forth from Mar-a-Lago to the Great Red North. We unsealed, it's just not mine, of course. Baby, I unsealed from the pros with a file. Every name but mine's in the public trial.
Oh my God, what's going on with his leg?
Every mile, but I'm too clean, so we blurred my name with style. They said the docs were real, but I said no way. Just lives criticizing, trying to ruin my day. I called it a hoax, a sorrow scheme. Now I'm the hero in this cable news dream. Look, here's a prince, not me, but it seems, baby, we unsealed from the pros with the fire. Lit up the light.
Oh my God, no, your foot is never supposed to turn like that. Oh my God. How did he make us go through his other leg?
With child, but not the ones where I wrote him notes that were vile. They redacted hard where my name appeared, flagged by agents I never cleared, but I'm just a guest star, not the lead. Let the libs bleed. We show the safe stuff that my folks need. Baby, I unsealed from the pros. Truth's got filters and I'm holding the dial. History's written by those who compile, and I compile with the pros, distract and deny.
The nipple was just stuck. Okay. Thank you. I'll check it out. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll catch you tomorrow. You be safe out there. Oh, bye.